What's going on, everyone? Hello, hello. Welcome to another Rokoko Office Hours. If this is your first one, I'm Sam Lazarus. I'm the creative director for Rokoko, and this is a time when we try to hop on and have some fun live and use some Rokoko tools and answer questions and make some cool stuff. So we haven't been doing this regularly for a little while, but I'm trying to get back into it. So we're back again, second week in a row. We're going to try and keep it up. And today we're going to keep playing around with the Vision 3.0 AI mono video mocap system that we just released, a couple weeks ago now. If you don't know, you can find it at create.rokoko.com. You take a video and you can upload it. Oh, got a stray. You can upload it straight through your browser and hit create and kind of trim it to, just the stuff that you want to see. And then it'll pop out a little mocap take for you, and you can hop on, you can test it out completely for free. And then we have some really, some of the most affordable, I think the most affordable subscription if you want to use it more. But if you want to just try it, it's totally for free. And so what we're going to be doing today is I thought we would take some recordings that we made in Vision 3.0 and then loop them in Rokoko Studio Preview, which is an incredible feature of this AI tool, mocap tool. A lot of the AI mocap tools, relatively are doing the same thing. They're giving you a mocap take out of a video you upload, right? But the great thing about this system is that you can go into Rokoko Studio and you can edit footlocks and you can kind of mess around with editing it to get a better quality. But better than that, you can go and you can loop and smooth the data that you get out of the AI solver, and then have a looped take that you can take into Unreal Engine or Blender or whatever it is. And that's really great. So we're going to be looping a take, and then we're going to go into Unreal and stream some live facial motion capture onto that kind of idle. So hopefully that made sense. But if you have any, questions, or if you want to see, we're gonna be playing around with the face capture system. If you want to see me do specific faces or whatever, just let me know. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do here is I went and just recorded a little video this morning. Let me go find it. It is, where are you, my little guy? Looping idle. Yeah, so this is just on my phone. And basically, I'm just doing some looking around movements because we're going to be overlaying, live facial motion capture onto this. So I want this movement to be pretty basic. And this is going to loop together really well, and it'll just create a dynamic movement that we can, put our facial mocap on, and it kind of combines a couple of Rokoko tools. So in order to get mocap out of this, I'm just going to go to create.rokoko.com, just add the video, which is great. I love this UI. I actually think it's fantastic. It just is easy to use. It's kind of does exactly what you would think it does. It's quick. So I just loaded it in, trimmed it, and then hit create, and we're kind of off to the races. This is a 15 megabyte file, so it should upload pretty quickly. And one of the other things that's great about Vision is that it solves very quickly, again, relative to some of the other tools. So we're going to be going back into Unreal. But I think probably where Vision makes the most sense is more towards Blender or Cinema or iClone or something like that. Unreal released their own monocular body mocap solver, which is great. The only thing about that is that it is quite processor intensive, and it takes a very long time to process takes. Excuse me. Hopefully that was the right thing. Oh God, a little frog in my throat. Excuse me. But the great thing about this is that, yeah, we're almost through this process, right? This is almost done. So with the Unreal system, it's great. And it also gives you great motion and everything. It just takes like 20 minutes to do this similar sized length clip, which is what, a couple, like 20 seconds. So that is a huge advantage of the vision system. The thing I always like to say is that there is no one right system for any workflow. There's just a right system for, or there's no one right workflow, rather. There's just a right workflow for, you and your particular situation. If it makes more sense to be using the native, mocap tool in Unreal, and it can for, I think, a bunch of reasons, then you should use that tool. If you need to like loop things a lot and you want to smooth your AI mocap, which is really, again, the fact that you can do looping and smoothing is just such a huge differentiator for vision, in my opinion. Then like you can use vision, right? So there's different tools depending on what you want to do. With the Unreal tool, you can also get facial data at the same time, but it doesn't, you have to be facing the camera, and there's like limitations to that. So there's those limitations. Okay, but this is done. So now we can open up Rokoko Studio, and our mocap is just gonna kind of pop in there. And from here we can, I'm not moving around, so there's no foot contact cleanup to do or anything. But we can take a look at some of those tools. So here we are, looping idle. This is it. So great. I just recorded a video on my phone, and then I have this. And let me move my little fella here. Let's go square. And this is a very basic idle, right? And it's going to loop really well. And there's no editing to do here. You can see down here there are foot lock keyframes, which you can watch any of our videos on our channel, and we'll talk about, how to edit foot locks. If I'm moving around, actually what we should do is, do I have another video talking? No. Oh yeah, okay. So these are from last week. But I could just create another, and that way maybe we'll just show off what the footlock system is like. So here we have a sneaking, I believe it was a sneaking clip. And this maybe we could use to make we could do a walk cycle, a sneaking walk cycle. So I'll hit create, and the great thing is I can just now leave this page. As soon as this is uploaded, 88 megs, uploading quite slowly because of the stream that is currently being run. I can just navigate away from this page, which is great, and then I can just jump, into working on the other mocap that I've been using. Okay, so this looks great. We're not actually going to export this. We're going to jump into Rokoko Studio Preview to do the looping and the smoothing. So I will shut down this scene and then open up Preview. Rokoko Studio Preview, I know there's Rokoko Studio Preview, which is frustratingly similar, but the idea with Preview is that it is very much an alpha build of where our next version of Rokoko Studio proper will be, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Mainly that we're eventually going to be moving to this new version of Rokoko Studio because it's much lighter and it's much easier to add new features to. This is not built on Unity, whereas the other program we were in is built on Unity. And so we basically didn't want to wait to give people access to features like looping and smoothing until the whole new version was done. So you can access this preview version, and it works with all your mocap. You just have to open up another program. It takes a second. But once you do, you get access again to these two tracks right here. This is smoothing. So if I throw this on, and it's by default it's at 7. If I crank it up to 10, you'll see just how languid the character moves now, which actually isn't horrible for what we are trying to do. I actually kind of like this. This is a use case for using high smoothing. If we go to 0 smoothing, or 0.5, which is essentially 0, this is basically the original take. This is what we got from Rokoko. This is what we recorded without smoothing. So I'm going to put this at like an 8.5, and it's going to be smooth because we're going to a vampire character, and he's smooth. So great, it's smoothed. And if we play it, you can see it is not looping, right? Because it's just a clip. If we want to make this loop, you can hit plus right here, drag this out, and apply magic loop. Make the transition time 2 seconds, which is 48 frames, I believe. And now we'll play this through, and we can watch as the playhead gets to the end here. And when it does, it's going to loop back to the beginning, and if it's smooth, then we're good to go. So here it's coming. And what I like to do to test this is, okay, I know it's about to happen. Now just look at the character. Do I notice any discernible loops? No. Don't see a single loop. So this is now going to loop infinitely, and that's great because we are going to be adding our facial motion capture on top of this, and we just want something that's kind of languidly moving and is just going to be a canvas for the facial mocap, right? But what's great is this will add a lot of, like, it's actually interesting how they're moving around and stuff, so it should be good. Excuse me, I want to mute and cough again. Ugh. Okay. So at this point, we are going to export this out, and for Unreal Engine, if we want to export it with the loop, we need to right click on this looping segment, go to export, and then we're just going to send it to the desktop, looping idle, smoothed, we'll call it. And there we go, we're done. I'm gonna close out of Studio Preview. If we go back to our browser, you can see that this is, I guess it was still uploading. Interesting. This might be behind. Sometimes when you navigate away from the browser, like there's a lag in what you're seeing. And so I would bet if I opened up Rokoko Studio, let's find out. This clip has actually already been uploaded and is done. But we'll see. Okay. So it looks like no, it is not done. Oh, now it's okay. So it was still going. Okay, but in the meantime, we will go back and look at that later. Now let's go and launch 5.8.1. In fact, I'm going to launch it from here. So I already have a little project that I have going that I loaded up a metahuman into. There are some awesome new metahumans that are free from Epic that they released with 5.8. One of which is a vampire-like character. Really cool. So we're going to play around with that. And you can see, here they are. Yes. Yes. I'm getting a lot of screen tearing for some reason in my Unreal scene. Don't know why. But this character is so great. They come with great like cloth physics. The hair has like some bounciness to it. Yeah, so let's import our motion capture, and then we're going to get some face cap going on this character. So I'm going to create a new folder, call it Mocap. Open it up. If I do not freeze. This is, 5.8.1, so it should be more stable than 5.8 was. But but you never know. So it could totally crash on us. We'll find out. 5.8.1 is still pretty early. So here we go. We have our Rokoko animation. And again, it is perfectly looping. So if we go to the end and we hit play, it just loops back around. Looks great. So useful. So I can right click, go to retarget animations, and then go find our vampire body, export animations, export it to the mocap folder. And now if we go to sequencer, call it vampire. You know what? We can, I haven't done this yet. Okay. Very exciting. So this is my layout that I like. I haven't set it up for 5.8 yet, because I'm not really in 5.8 that much yet. This is what I like. Now window, save layout. Sam's default. Ooh, baby. Looking good. Love it. Outliner over here on the left. Detail panel over here. Pretty exciting stuff. So I'm going to load my MetaHuman blueprint in to sequencer. Delete the control rigs. Under body, go to animation. And go find our looping idle smoothed. And here we go. And if I make my timeline loop, there we go. So now this will play infinitely. And this is really cool for a lot of reasons. I feel like I need more light in this scene. I'm just going to add a little bit more. Looking awesome. Okay, so at this point, what we're going to do is go to LiveLink. LiveLink. And we are going to open up LiveLink on our Android phone. Where are you? LiveLink face. And then we're going to run our Rokoko Headcam here through our Android phone. And we are going to get some really cool facial motion capture on our character. So you don't need to use a head cam, of course. You can just use the camera on your phone. The disadvantage being that if you turn your head, you lose the tracking. We're going to go to LiveLink face source. Connect. And we are connected. It's pretty self-explanatory to get it all hooked up. At this point, we just go to this fella and we go LiveLink, use LiveLink. Hello. Ho, 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 ho. Okay, so now in order to combine these, we are going to, what are we going to need to do? We need to go to our LiveLink. Okay, I'm going to put this down. Wait, where's LiveLink? Oh, looks so good. Hold on. I need to find LiveLink, though, again. And we can do some things here, I believe, that we need to do. Okay, yeah, we don't want head orientation or translation. So, yeah, okay, we want that. And then hold on. So I forget how I did this, so we're going to find it out in real time. Oh god, it looks so good though. Okay, so we need to layer on this, how do we do this again? Translator. So I can take it into remapper, no. Head pose. I might need to do it like this. Go to the body. Instead of use animation blueprint, we're going to use the use anim asset. Wait, no. Hold on. Interesting. I forget how to do this. Anyone in the chat? No chatters. But if anybody remembers, well, this is okay. So now we're gonna figure it out here together. How did? Okay, yeah. And how did I do this last time? I forget. I'm trying to remember. So first off, we're going to do this. Get our blueprint. And on this one, I'm going to change the body to use anim asset, smoothed, looping and playing. Okay, so now we're looping as soon as we the no. Well, one thing that I can do is we could record and process something, but it's not quite the same as what I wanted to do. But that would still work. So we could do that. Why don't we do that? Won't hurt. Yeah, okay. We'll just do that. I know there's a way to do this, but I am too dumb right now to figure it out. It would just require going into the blueprint and doing some... I just need to lock the skeleton. Okay. So what we are going to do is record it instead. Golly, look at this guy. So the way that we're still going to use the headcam because that's kind of the fun of this a little bit. So I'm just going to... unravel my cords here. Pop this guy on. Okay, get my mic down low here. And now I'm going to just plug into my Android phone, and in the settings of this app, you can choose where the video is coming from, the source. So I'm hitting Rokoko Headcam. And you can see hello. So now we have our headcam in, and if I actually go, hello, hey, ooh, yes, let's test this out a little bit. Hello. Wow, it looks so good. It's awesome. Yes. Okay, so if we want to record something, I'm actually going to jump out of Live Link Face. And I'm just going to record into an app that I have on my phone. Oop. And yeah, we just, what I'm going to actually do is play through this animation and kind of try to act to it a little bit. So we'll wait for the ending, and then we'll hit just record. Okay, that could be really weird, but we're gonna roll with it. So the way that I get these onto my computer is usually just slack them to myself. And actually, hold on, let's go full sized here. So I can go and download this. Download. Okay. Go back to small mode. Okay, and now we're gonna go and create a metahuman performance. So I'm gonna go and save all. Then we're going to jump into our downloads folder, and we're going to move our video that we just took. Throw it on the desktop. This is it. My beautiful face. Okay. And we're going to go to, now we need to actually go to Tools, Capture. Can I access the Capture Capture Manager. Live Link Face Archives. Find the location, which is the desktop. Save. No, this is... No, I have to go to Live Link Hub now. We must go to the Live Link Hub, I believe, to actually import it. Go back to our Live Link Face. Okay, So we're going to go to the capture manager and go to mono video ingest, take directory. We're going to go to the desktop and it's going to show all of the video clips. We're going to load in this one. Add to queue, hit start, and it's going to ingest this. Boom, 100%. And at this point, we can go to Metahuman Performance. Call this Vampire. Vampire Smirk. Double click this. So one of the, while it takes a very long time to process body footage, for some reason face footage still is really quick. So that's great news. I don't know why, and maybe it'll become faster to process the body footage. Oh, look at that, so cool. It's crazy that's a metahuman. I do not want the transform track, and hit process. And this is pretty much gonna zip through. Man, so cool. Oh my god, it looks so good. This is like an animated character. And we're just gonna overlay this over the body footage, and we're gonna have something that's pretty cool, I think. Well, we'll see. Might be mismatched. Now, the other thing that will be interesting is if this is longer than the body footage will loop infinitely, so it doesn't matter. So that's good. Oh, it's so good, so impressive. It's nuts. We'll play through it. Okay, we'll see. Okay. I thought I just heard an echo or something. Hopefully it's not really weird. What do we have going on here? We are adding some face animation to our vision. Our vision take that we did earlier. Details. Turn this off. Ooh! Oh, looks great. So you can see this bit when my eyes are going crazy. See my eyes like jerking there? That's when it's amazing. You don't notice how nuts your eyes go when you're turning your head. They scan in front of the turn and then they look back and they do this really weird jerking motion. So if I move that to happen during the head turn, it'll be a little bit more natural looking. Wow, looks great. Um, let me do it like this. So this is definitely getting exported. And let's add in our Cine actor, Cine camera. Oh my God, so shallow. Pretty cool. So what we're working on, is combining in Rokoko Studio, like the ability to capture, start a recording on the, on your helmet, on your head cam, and get the body recording going at the same time. So it's easier to combine the Rokoko tools. Like it's easier to trigger the gloves at the same time as recording a video so that you can just match everything up in post. And then you can use gloves with this body mocap. I mean, because this looks great, right? This is smoothed AI body mocap that I made using, I don't know why I have so much screen tearing. But that I made using just a video of myself. And then, facial mocap from the headcam. Why is there so much screen tearing? It's insane. Okay, so now the fun part is playing with the... Yeah, baby. Starting to play with the lights. I love a backlight, but this one is not working. There we go. Honestly, we could use another one. Sometimes holding Alt copies and sometimes it doesn't. It's frustrating. So I just want to hit a little bit of light. One thing I love doing is I can pin this right here so that I can keep working in my scene and still see what the camera is seeing. I just want to hit that collar. Yeah. A little bit of light. That's going to be way too much. Yeah, see, I just want to hit this guy right here. There we go. Awesome. Looks freaking awesome. Do you happen to know if the Rokoko Headcam works with a PC? It does. Nope. It can totally work with a PC. Hold on. Here I come. Let's... Yeah, no, I don't want that. Let's get a little head cam going. Does it require a tether? No, yeah, it does require, it's just USB-C. So it's tethered, it's powered, it has no battery or anything. It's powered by the PC. What is it called? Okay, let's see if, yeah, sometimes. Okay, what is this? Transform, rotate clockwise. Hello. Yes, it does work. Ooh, I should just do my streams like this. Amazing. Yeah, it's great. It's actually a good way to show this off. Wow. Turn the light on. I don't know if you can see that, but light on, light off. Even out some of those shadows. Actually super useful. I have a window right here in front of me, which is pretty much ideal recording conditions. Daylight is always ideal for anything involving, you know, video. But yeah, it looks great. Gotcha for the details question. Pick your brain on any idea if... Hold on, sorry. My computer is far away now. Ugh. Rebo trap. I've never heard of Rebo. Rebo cap? Let's look it up. Can I look it up? Do you mind? Rebo cap, Mocap trackers. So there's so many new people in every day. Haven't even seen this one yet. Looks sick. Looks good. As I say, there are no perfect workflows, just what works for you and your budget. How much is this? I'm curious. Interesting. Yeah. $219. Yeah, I'd love to see how it performs, you know? But no idea. I'm sure it works with Unreal, probably. I don't know. It depends on if they have a stream. Well, no, it's a VTubing thing, so of course it does. Yeah, it must have a plugin that you download on, you know, Fab, and it just works. They're IMU based. I know. I mean, cool. They work. They work. I don't know, having not used them and not tested them. I just knowing, you know, mocap's hard to do. So that'd be sick if they're just like amazing. I'm gonna switch back to my other camera here. Oh yeah, you like how it's frozen? Ooh, what a good thing to freeze on there. Oh no. What's going on? Okay. So now I'll probably be rotated again. Yeah, and we'll go Control R. Bing, bong, boom. Of course, yeah, my pleasure. I mean, I'm sure anything that is a VTubing focus thing has built-in support for Unreal and Unity, so I imagine it's great. I'm curious. I'm gonna go look them up more after this because that would be a really good deal if it works well. That's always the question. And there's only one way to know that, and that's by looking at videos of it working and testing them if you can. Okay, so this looks awesome. I'm going to check my depth a little bit again, but I think we're going to render this out because it looks sick. The only thing that we could do is add in a little William Fauché particle-ness, which I think... Easy Atmos, baby. Already compatible with 5.8. Ooh, girl. I am staff at Rokoko, but I need a channel to sub to. I'm gonna start streaming a little bit on my own, I think. So at one point I will be able to point you to that. But no, currently no. But I'm trying to do it every week again for Rokoko, who I work for. Okay, what was I just doing? Oh yeah, Easy Atmos. Okay, so we need to, you know what we need. We need particles. Of course. Ooh, do we need that sort of particles? Leaves? Do we want leaves falling? I don't think we want them falling that fast, even if we do want them. I think we want some dust. And we want hanging dust. And the only thing is, it's so much hanging dust. And the other thing that we want to do is we want to add some camera shake, which we need to make ourselves by going to Blueprint, Default, Camera Shake Base, Cam Shake, change the timing to 0, Root Shake Pattern, Perlin Noise timing, we want it to be 0. So that it is just infinite. Compile, save, jump back into sequencer, add it onto our camera, drag it out for the whole thing. Yeah, without background, you kind of don't notice it, but it's nice to have a little movement, I think. So I think his eyes need a little bit more light. But other than that, I think we're going to call this. It looks pretty freaking cool, I think. And to do that, you know what I'm going to do? Something a little bit dirty. I want that reflection in his eye. That's not bad. It's not bad, but I do think that, with path tracing, this would just look so different. And what I find the solution is to lumen, making lumen look good, is you want these like pockets of light that are very small and only affect like small areas. So if we make the source, like if we just affect, that's not even like what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is even more of a, I don't think I've saved in a long time, but that's okay. What I'm talking about is something very targeted, which is not going to really work. I would have to parent it. To the eyes, but something like this, even. Part of the fun of Unreal is that you get to mess around with all this stuff. Okay. It's a little intense. I think it needs to come down a little bit. Even more. Go to point 3. Yeah, it's a great, I love this. Ooh, look at that. I love this trick. Not trick, but going through and toggling on and off all your lights. And just seeing what's what, what's responsible for what. Yep. I think this is okay, but we need less of it. Yeah, and that looks pretty good. That looks pretty darn good. Animation looks awesome. Yeah, it does look awesome. Yeah, thanks. It looks great. I mean, you know, Rokoko Vision, baby, is looking great. Somebody 346. Thanks for all the questions, somebody. Yeah, so awesome, and I'm happy to help out if I can at all. Okay, so I mean, this is looking pretty good. I think at this point we're kind of ready just to send it and do a render, and then I'm going to put together a little side-by-side to show off, but it's looking pretty good. We can go and we can check out, we processed another clip earlier, so we can go check that out in Rokoko Studio. I'm going to save all. You know what we could also do though is we should probably add an exponential fog volume. Now I love a little fog, but what I hate is seeing origin points of fog appearing out of nowhere. Which you can see it is for this right here. So this has to go that way. Looks great. Oh, looks so awesome. Okay. So let's check out the scene. Yep, syncing. So this is the other one that we uploaded. It's just a great way to work is by, you know, being able to upload things slowly one by one. So this was like a little sneaking video. And if we turn off locomotion, which is what I normally do, just check out how the raw data process looks great. Looks great right off the bat. I wonder if I could turn this into a little walk cycle quickly. Let's try. So we're going to open this up in Rokoko Studio Preview. So now, okay, it's doing this weird thing where, because it's all being shared through the cloud, sometimes it doesn't update in Rokoko Studio Preview, and then you just need to create a copy of the scene. I'm probably not going to do that, but I think that we could turn that into a little walk cycle if we opened it up in Preview. You can kind of see what I mean if I turn on treadmill mode. And then we change the flags. To like this. Yeah, so this would loop into a walk cycle pretty smoothly, yeah. And then you'd have like a little sneaky walk, which would be totally original and like looks great and is custom. It's so awesome that you can just make the looping and smoothing of Rokoko Studio Preview is just so great. Black art. How do you deal with fingers that look weird with body mocap data in Unreal? How to make them more natural looking instead of twisted and bunched up, which is often what happens. Sorry if it's off topic. It's not off topic at all. What you do is there's a couple things that you can do, but so here they look weird. There's no finger data on vision, but for a lot of mocap, after you do retargeting, you end up with weird hands. What I like to do is that if there is just generally there's a moment in time when I know what I was doing in the performance, and it's like I'm bunching my fist or I'm doing a peace sign, for instance, or something like that. And when I do that, what I'll do is I'll go and do a little additive mocap. So I'll go to body, control rig, layered. And if there is no control rig, like this character, because it's a metahuman, it comes with a control rig. But if there is no control rig, you can always use an FK control rig. And that's not so much a control rig as if I click this, we're going to get this extra layer here. And now on this extra layer, and you maybe know all this already, but you can do additive edits of the hand, and those additive edits, if you don't add keyframes, will persist over the course of the entire animation. So you add in one of these FK control rig layers, and then you do your fixes of the hands. Oh, it should probably look more like that, and maybe I want the wrist to be like more straight. And anything I'm doing here, if I'm not adding keyframes, these changes, you can see that they persist. It's over the course of the entire animation, right? Here, I should go and fix this. This thumb looks a little bit weird. Fix that one, probably put it there. The hand, again, looks a little tilted or something. There we go. And now hit play. And you can see these changes are here. If I want to make edits, I can add I could add a keyframe, and then I could add another keyframe, and we could, make edits if we need to make edits. We don't want to make edits. If you're fixing hands over the course of an entire animation, you just want to add one of these layers and fix them, and it'll fix it for the whole animation. So, and then like the way to handle this in a more long-term way would be to set up your character with a different rest pose that more accurately matched the Rokoko mocap coming in, or you set up some other system where it was more automatic. Like if you know that you're using a single character, you could just set up a profile in the retargeter that automatically corrects the fingers into the way that you want them. But it's pretty typical, retargeting introduces those weird hand issues, and a lot of the issues come from, Rokoko motion capture. It comes out of Rokoko like this, with all the fingers and thumb flat. Now, if your character's rest pose doesn't match that, say if their rest pose is more like this, which many characters are, slightly bent fingers and slightly, the thumb is like down, then when you retarget, you're going to end up with mangled kind of fingers, and you're going to have to correct those. And that happens a lot because a lot of different characters have different rest pose fingers. And so it's a common thing to have to go in and do a quick edit. So I just kind of build that into my, again, it depends on the quality of the animation you're doing. If it's a high-end animation, you're always going to have to go in and do some sort of editing, typically. So you just kind of build in that understanding before you get started. Okay. Well, I think we're going to call it there. This was a lot of fun. I'm going to go and export this and see if I can crash my computer. But hopefully not. And, we're going to try and do these every week from now on. So tune in next week, and we'll see you guys then. This was a lot of fun. Thanks for coming. Thanks for the questions. And I think next week we're going to get into some more Coil Pro stuff. Start playing around with some more Coil Pro-ness. Okay.